Welcome to another episode of Daddy and Shh. If it's your first time tuning in, welcome. If it's not, welcome back. I was gone for like the last two episodes.
A few, yeah.
What Von Hill said? Did you miss me?
Nah,
you gonna tell him who you are?
Yeah. Oh, I'm Chocolate Dad, aka Chocolate
CD.
Dad.
I'm Saya, aka Saya.
It's your boy Styles.
It's your boy 9-5. Like, I ain't calling you that. Like Steve said.
CD,
welcome back
man.
to y'all, man. Welcome back.
He been missing. Yeah.
You were missing. You got your hall pass signed this week.
Not only he
Did you
missing.
miss me?
Nah, our producer been missing too for like a month.
Yo, dead ass.
He ain't shit.
But he working though. He working.
He definitely working.
He working.
Definitely working.
He been
I was
state to state.
definitely checking inside of milk cartons. Like, what the fuck is that, son? No, but yeah, man. Okay, what up, man? What it do? But yeah, so you got your hall pass this week. Everything was copacetic. Got the paperwork stamped. You got to come outside.
I was dadding and shit. That's why I wasn't outside.
Good excuse.
You feel me? That's why I had to make sure I held the fort down.
Understood.
Mm-hmm. She like, where you going?
Nah, she know my schedule. She know how we,
Nah, it happens, but
put my foot down and that's it.
Yeah, all right. Here we go. Nah, but we definitely miss you, man. We all vibe out. We have a good time when we all here together. And so today in studio we got us a friend of the show, man. We was on his show. He pulled up on us today. Our boy Loon, King Loon.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Thanks for having me, man.
Thanks for pulling up, man.
It's only right.
Listen, I appreciate you pulling up last week too, man. Listen, everybody.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie, that shit was
everybody who pulled up last Thursday for the live event.
We appreciate that. That was love.
I gotta say, I do apologize to anybody who had to work on Friday. You should have called out. That's
also, shorty with the blonde hair, I'm gonna need her Instagram. We're gonna talk about that off. We're gonna talk about that off there.
We're gonna figure that out for you.
We gotta find which one.
But we definitely we had a great time. We turned up. Everybody showed love.
She definitely had about 3
What that
kids.
mean? Can discriminate?
I mean, he don't got none yet, so I don't really want him to.
Friend?
Yeah, start off with 3. Like, you gotta ease him in.
None that I know of.
3 off the bat.
Holla at me in tax season, you heard?
3 off the back.
Nah, but yeah, real talk, we had a great time. We put a lot of work into it. Whether it was the merch we're giving out, the raffle we was doing, the interaction with the crowd. Y'all showed up, y'all showed out. Shout out to that spot for having AC, because it was about 85 degrees outside. Yo. It was chalet, man. It was hot.
If there's no AC for the summer in places, I'm not even trying to go.
Nah, that's a fact. But it was a great time, man. The turnout was amazing. We had a lot of great content, so we're gonna be putting that out in the next couple of weeks for everybody who wasn't there. Honestly, we're just really humbled and we appreciate everybody.
Mad love.
The views have been
They
going
showed us
up.
mad love, B.
Mad love, kid.
Feel the love outside, man. But shout out to everybody. Like I said, we definitely appreciate it. And it wasn't, just dads. It was definitely a great mix of the crowd.
Moms
we had
in the
moms
building.
in there. We had some single. We had friends. We had
We
family.
had some grandmothers in the building.
We definitely had some grandmas in
Shout out
the
to my
building.
mother.
You heard?
She don't miss a heartbeat.
That's a fact. So listen, man. Shout out to you guys. We can't honestly. As that's the first time I've ever done something like live, something like that or whatever.
They're like porn before. That's crazy.
But it's not live though.
You did live porn, bro?
Yeah.
Live porn? Okay. Oh, you be dadding this shit for real.
That's a fact.
That's a different. You super saiyan dad.
Nah, I did porn, but my shit wasn't live though.
Yeah,
So
what
it
type
was
of life you
different.
living with? Niggas is watching you. No, I want to talk about. That's a different.
That's back in the
Nah,
day.
that's
a different
actually
podcast.
called
That's-
Chinese chat back in the days.
Niggas, how you think I became a dad?
Chinese chat. Y'all know about Chinese chat?
So that's a lot of and shit. They don't remember back then.
That's
man.
the and shit part.
You know what I'm saying? But listen, man, I ain't gonna lie, it was like exhilarating. We had a great time. Like it just felt like like a OD great vibe. I can't wait to do that shit again. Yo, shout out to Shinju
like 106
Whiskey.
and Puff.
Word, man. That is a fact.
I was AJ, you free.
Definitely not.
I ain't gonna lie. Pause, but Free was fire.
Yeah,
Free was fire.
I'll be what's his face? What was the second?
Terrence?
Terrence.
You shot Moss.
Oh wow! Don't disrespect my man's like that. Don't disrespect my man's like that.
Mr. 106.
Nah. Don't disrespect my man's like
Mr.
that.
Don't start front of my
What-
nigga. He's still
that's
that
a
nigga.
fact.
He's still that nigga.
Nah,
He still what?
Soldier.
Still that nigga.
To who?
Everybody.
Soulja Boy coming at him, boy. Soulja Boy said, "You don't get him breaking
Bow Wow the man, bro.
Was the man.
No.
He still is.
Bow
Still
Wow
the
ain't been
man.
lit since he cut his braids for the 3rd time. What the fuck are y'all talking about? Yo, Bow Wow is a living legend, but you gotta hang it up. That is the shit. That's the best song ever, but that shit came out 18 years ago.
And look, that's how fire he is. That he's still living up old shit.
Bro, he not even Jordan on the Wizards. He like Jordan in baseball.
Yo, my man's listen. My man's just out here living off loving hip hop kid shit. Let's.
Little
So
man,
much,
right?
He good.
He listen. His catalog speaks for itself. But
We about to
today's
see him at Versus.
relevancy, let's not and whatnot. But listen, man. We listen. 106 in Park was still out, man. We definitely pull up on them, man. Freestyle Friday, all of that shit.
They gotta bring that back. That's like nostalgia. That's like
Yeah,
so.
dead ass. Right?
Yo, let me ask y'all a question. Since we right here, right? You ever sit down and think about how much fun we had as like a kid, and then you look at your kids and be like, "Damn, you're not about to know nothing about none of this shit."
Yo, but that
Definitely.
brings me back to some shit I seen on Instagram. That
The shit that I
people
saw.
from
Yeah,
9-5
Yo,
sent
I'll
me.
tell you. Yo, so
That shit was funny
somebody
as hell.
somebody posted some shit, right? And
with
the
the
phone.
Oh,
yeah. So
yeah,
somebody
yeah.
had posted some shit, and my brother sent it to me. You like, that's crazy. So I watched it, and I was like, I gotta see this for myself. So they were basically like, yo, today's kids, when they like, oh, you know, tell me you go on the phone with a hand gesture or whatever. The kids is like just holding their whole hand up, like, and the parents are like, what
Us
the
was like,
yeah. So the
That
kids
was
is
the
like,
video.
the kids
Like,
is like
we do
this.
this.
So we like, what the fuck
why you
is that?
smacking yourself? Like,
Yo, so they did it with all their kids, right? So I said, screw it. So I went to my daughter, she was 14, right? I went in her room, I just ran, I'm like, yo, like, to use the hand just to let me know you're on the phone. And she went even crazier where she had a hand like this and went like this. Like, so she got she on her phone because let me tell me she on her AirPods.
That's what it
I'm
is.
like,
wow,
what the fuck
he's
is that?
speaking sign language.
Yo,
said, yo.
but the meme, why that video was so funny? Because they said we do this, like, yo, what's
Yeah,
up? They say, yo,
automatic, yeah.
they never know how to feel to really hang up with a nigga like,
Yeah,
put the phone.
Yo, you remember we used to hang up the phone, man? Hang up the phone, man. Hard shit.
When you break your finger, like,
Yeah, word. And if you
Somebody say some disrespect, be like, that's your word?
Yo, you know what pissed me
Slap
off
outta
when
here,
somebody
you
hang
know
up the
it.
phone first. Like, oh, you hung up on me? Oh, nah, it's lit. Now I gotta call you back just to hang up. Now I gotta call you back just to hang up. I'm good for
Yo,
that.
people don't even know what it's like to hold the fucking receiver and the rest of the phone and walk around like with the cord and shit. Like,
It's definitely.
good time.
I ain't
yo,
gonna
what the
But speaking of like having fun as kids, like what we need to bring back is just being on the block and getting in trouble and the neighbors snitching. Like, neighbors
Play
don't
some manhunt.
snitch nowadays.
Yeah,
Play some manhunt.
You know what's so funny,
everything,
bro?
fire hydrants, all of that.
To even make, I was saying this during the pandemic. I was like, I felt so bad for the kids in school during the pandemic. Not off even just the strength, y'all missing out on prom, y'all missing out on graduation, but they was in a pandemic for so long. Like I got a niece that's like, oh, my niece 17. Like, yo, you really not socializing. You know what I mean? Like, going up a big part of going to school outside of learning is learning how to socialize within
Yeah,
a
that's a
community with
fact.
people. I'm like, damn. So a lot of y'all about to be, y'all might graduate mentally in reference to like grades and shit, but a lot of y'all are being held back in terms of learning how to socialize. Bro.
Yeah, they're gonna be socially
Real
inept.
shit like that. That shit is declining.
But you know what's crazy? It's like I feel like the pandemic just put a light on it more so than anything else because I feel like this, like the kids this day and age. Like, their outside wasn't like our outside. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when we was outside, like, yo, there was times where, like, yo, listen, I got my bike, I got, like, $3, and my parents were like, yo, as long as you come home at the end of the night, like, they didn't care how I got fed. Like, it was just what it is. These kids nowadays, like, their outside is like, yo, they got to be going to, like, some sort of an event. It has to be a thing.
it has
They
to be
couldn't
a
just
thing.
be
Just
outside
regular,
meeting
that's
people. Like,
wild,
they
yeah.
like, when I remember as a kid, like, that's the first time I even knew where Red Hook was. Like, I just got lost on
Yeah,
bike.
because nobody,
I'm like, where the hell am I?
nobody goes to Red Hook on purpose. If you're not going to IKEA, you go there or you don't go there on
Yeah, Red
purpose.
like
At
Coney
the, time,
Island.
at the time, there wasn't no
Coney Island's
IKEA. There wasn't
different.
nothing. I was like, what is this shit, man? But being outside, that's how you meet people. Like, you was outside. Like, oh, every time I'm outside, I see these people. Like, you know, all of a sudden you in the park or you this, that, and the third. This day, like the kids these days, this
Or not even like on
things
your
are not the
phone.
same
Every
at
time I
all.
leave my crib, I'm like, yo, I get back in the crib, I'm gonna call y'all niggas when I get back. I go outside for the whole day, no phone. I ain't have no phone.
Nah, I didn't.
Yeah, okay, you know what I'm saying? I ain't have no phone. I'm just
Nah, it
outside.
was like, yo, and that's just this.
I feel like my day. I
Yo,
feel
bro,
like
I feel like people's bonds and like friendships, relationships was a lot stronger because back then it was like, yo, we always hit here yesterday or like we here today and we like, yo, listen, tomorrow at 6 o'clock we all at the park. I don't have to talk to you again.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, that's
you're
it.
gonna be at
Yeah.
the park around
Fact.
6-ish.
You might come 6:15,
Yeah.
6:10,
But you're gonna show up
but you're gonna get
eventually.
there.
Yep.
This day and age is constantly like, and I feel like it's crazy because even as instant communication is, communication is lacking so much. Like there's zero like substance to it. It's just like
because it's
K-
diluted.
It is.
Yeah,
Diluted.
big
Too
time.
much.
Like we don't like niggas don't do shit like this no more. You know what I mean? Like we all talking and vibing. Like hey, like you go on a road trip. Well, not my road trips, but a lot of other niggas on their phone. My niece,
Yeah,
dude,
man,
my niece
quiet.
would die without her phone, bro. Like I remember when having a phone was a privilege.
Yeah.
Like if you had a phone,
was lit.
for starters, if you had a phone, you was rich. Only rich niggas had phones when I was
Bro,
a kid.
I
bro.
only had the phone after 9 when my mother minutes was free.
Yo, that was
I throughout half of my high school
Next
years.
comment,
If you was
Today,
really,
don't come
if
back
you was
tonight.
really lucky, 7.
That was just about to say. He stole my
I think
point. I was gonna
that's
say we got this extra
Nah,
2
that's a
hours
fact.
because so my older sister, she's 5 years older than me, right? So when she was going to college, I was just going to 8th grade. So my parents were like, yo, she's gonna be away at school or whatever, so we want to be able to contact her a lot quicker, not wait till 9 o'clock. So they were paying. I think it was it was crazy back then. It was like an extra like $10 or
was
something
$10.
to get
That's
extra
what it
2
was.
hours. So to start at 7
Crazy.
for free
That's
night and
$10.
text.
Crazy.
So I was
I
like,
remember that.
yo, I remember that. And then so when they went and got her phone, the plan was like on some like you get 2 for 1 type of thing with the college or some shit like that. So I was the next kid.
Like,
so I got a phone.
yo,
Bro,
I was-
I'm
Nah,
that
telling
free
you,
after
man.
nine
always
was
had a
lit.
prepaid.
I ain't gonna lie.
Had a Nextel prepaid.
I like 400 minutes a month.
The charger piece was
Sidekick
about this
prepaid.
big.
I had every prepaid you could think about. I had a Nextel, Sidekick, had a Motorola, but I never really had like a phone because I always had to wait till 9 o'clock to get my mom's phone because I didn't want to waste my little prepaid minutes because that's what
That shit run down. You find a shorty, that shit gonna be gone. And we had like that's another thing. We had like real like phone convos.
Yeah.
Facts. You like all of a sudden you walking alongside the wall.
Doing all kind of dumb
Like
shit.
you sweeping the fridge.
Them pictures dead ass real when you be sleeping on the stove.
Yeah, you know,
You
yeah.
man, when you get mad comfortable, you just be like, yeah. So what you want?
But
There's
funny
no
'cause-
no fucking no AirPods, no headset.
Yeah,
Straight.
yo,
The phone every time talk so long about
Yeah.
Right,
my
you
shit.
like this,
I got
you
my
like,
shit
you like
down.
this doing mad shit. You in the dishes, whatever.
Yeah.
And the phone that never fell. Shit, but the worst part of all of that was like when
Nah, let me
with
tell you something.
AOL,
Let me
my
tell you
mom
about those phones.
stayed
Yo, you
kicking
could
the
never
cord.
get no
Oh, yeah,
phone
once you
call,
get that
bro.
call, it's
Like,
like,
yo,
my
it be
mom
sound like
stayed-
it be sound like Iraq.
King.
Yo, Larry, go make a phone call.
You getting
Nah,
the
but-
CDs in the mail for the next
Yeah,
AOL.
man.
But I ain't
Nah,
gonna
nigga,
lie.
not the CD in the mail.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The best shit that's kind of crazy
ASL.
about then versus now. Those phones back then never died.
Yo,
Yeah.
never, son.
That's
Yo,
true.
you used to have a phone for like 3 days and you was Gucci.
Yeah, it's
Because it
true.
wasn't all them thousand
Yeah,
apps
man,
you
I
got
know
on there
that.
now.
You wasn't doing
son.
what you could do on
All
it
it did
now.
was make phone calls at the time.
That
Well,
is.
listen, all you
Maybe
could
lucky
do
to text.
was, well, even texting.
I don't
Honestly,
even think.
when you was back then texting too, you knew that you was elite because you know what is it? You in
gotta
class
press a button.
texting. You gotta get to the C.
Yo, son, you gotta write a paper to say hello.
You gotta be quick.
Yo.
It's show combos.
They don't even know.
I'm
They
here.
don't even- Yo, kids today would never know.
It take you 9 minutes to say good morning.
That's a
You
fact.
feel me? But you
Now
know,
there wasn't no like group chat joint, so it was like, yo,
Like,
you gotta tell them one
so
thing
it
at a
was
time.
online group chats.
Like now in this day and age, like how y'all feel about like the kids and they social thing that they got going on. How you
hate
feel
it.
like
don't-
they
it
like,
barely
is
got
it hurt?
it,
Is it
seemed
hurting
like.
them?
No,
or
for
helping
me,
them?
it's a twofold thing, right? So it's hurting, and it's also really helping them, right? Because it's hurting them where they aren't, in my opinion, they aren't getting the sort of social skills that I feel like you need as an adult, right? Like as when you're a teenager and you know middle school, high school, right now, it's really not as prevalent. Like yo, you can text, you could do stuff via the phone. You on Instagram, like you can make it. You can get a buzz. You can start making money off of like your phone, doing stuff like that, or whatever. But when you get into the adult world, where like you're sitting in a room with people, they don't know how like if their phone buzzes, it's like oh shit, I gotta look. Like my phone buzz right now. Like I don't have to like stop what I'm doing to like look. Like with them, they start breaking out in hives. Like I gotta see what that email was about. I got somebody like my shit. I gotta see
the
You know what I mean?
email.
all of that. So
That's mad.
So, but it's
Mad
also
facts.
good because they are able to keep up with technology and they're able to like learn and do stuff on their phones
not
now.
true.
Yeah.
I work in high school, bro. These kids cannot send an email, bro.
You dead ass?
Even from their phones.
He was in Brownsville though.
Yo,
Oh,
yeah, I
you
do
know,
work in
but Brownsville's a little
Nah, but
challenge.
it's just
Shout out to the whole Thomas Boylan.
It's just the kids. That's why my school's on Thomas Boylan.
I just
right in there.
what about schools is that?
But like, they'll send me an email and have the body of the email in the subject.
Oh,
I'm like,
Damn.
that's not how you send an email.
Okay, so let me ask you a question, right? Do you think that it's them not knowing the technology, or just that they're not being taught the things that they need to
I
this
think
day and
that-
age in
that's
school?
what I would-
They're not being taught the things that they need to this day
Right.
and age in school. And I don't blame them, but I do. Because it's like, I mean, I don't know who taught it to me. So it's like,
you
But
know,
we also grew up.
But
in
some-
that,
it's
in
a little
that
different,
time,
yeah.
though. Yeah,
did
man.
we really, bro? Because I'm gonna keep it a buck. When I was a kid, I don't remember seeing subject lines for emails. It was just the email, and the subject was usually the beginning of the email. They put that shit in manual.
But also too, right? Like it's different for us too, because like I remember when Al Gore's internet was invented. Like when we was like
who?
8, Al Gore.
oh, Al Gore. Oh,
Oh,
okay,
that's name
okay.
run for president, right?
Yeah, he was vice president. Yeah, we'll get into that another time, man.
Nigga got the conspiracy theory.
His face is out.
AOL.
Yeah, I was doing too. America Online.
Stop.
Young Hov was
the
17.
reason I say that is because when
was my
when the internet was first becoming like a thing, right? Al Gore, when he was in his seat as vice president or whatever the case may be, he was one of the people to really push him like, yo, this is gonna be the future, and he really helped back a lot of bills and funding to get like the infrastructure ready for like people to be really sending out like emails, internet, all that kind of stuff. So that's why people be joking
I ain't
with
gonna lie,
Al Gore
bro.
internet.
I ain't know that. You some smart nigga. Bro.
Yeah, only you would know some shit like that, bro. You just schooled me.
That's a
I
fact.
had to listen.
Yeah, I was paying attention when you was speaking
School
about that.
education.
Yeah, that's private school right
Well,
there.
got quiet.
I was definitely was in.
When you don't know nothing,
But,
just be quiet and listen.
Yeah, listen, learn something new every day.
Man, I'm dead.
But when we were growing up, right? Like when we were 5, 6 years old, there wasn't an internet though. Like
No,
there
yeah,
wasn't.
it was not
There
an
wasn't like
internet.
there wasn't a.
Yeah, it
like
wasn't.
I remember, like they would show articles like when
Still
that,
milling shit out. In the,
that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah,
Like there wasn't
yeah.
no paying bills online. There wasn't none of that. So we were growing up, learning and we're evolving with it.
Yes.
These kids were born into it. So that's why it's kind of like, why don't you know this shit, bro? Like, if
but-
at
I mean,
2
that's
years
also-
old, if at 2 years old you could work YouTube, like how is it you haven't been able to figure out like the
also
email?
why you
You
don't
know,
know, because you think about like us. Like I remember growing up, you know how to get somewhere. Like I remember watching my like. At
You mean
the time.
without a map?
Yeah,
Bro, I
You
could
could go
go
online,
I was
but
never
then-
gonna survive without no phone
And
in
I'm
the
also the
90s,
type of
bro.
person, I remember numbers. Like I can remember people's phone numbers. I remember all about phone numbers.
Yo, I used to
Like,
remember
currently.
everybody's
But then,
phone numbers.
Of course, your kid ain't gonna remember it now because when
they
they
don't
tweet
use
it,
it.
they don't need to.
Go to your name.
Speaking of that, and I'm sorry to cut you off, but I just gotta say it. Like, I was in the house with my niece and nephew. So they're like, we know daddy's phone number. We know daddy's phone number. I'm like, yo, Jeff, you talking your phone number?
Yeah.
They're like 5 and 6.
Yeah.
So
like,
I'm
that's
like, what?
surprised
I'm
you
like,
know
I'm
that.
like, what's his phone number? They said 093673.
What?
I said, that's not his phone number.
What the fuck is that?
That's the password to his phone.
For starters, somebody get in trouble.
I said, yo, if y'all get lost in the street, you cannot type in that number in
How old
somebody
are they?
else's phone.
How old
5
are
and
they?
6. But it's like, I mean, I'm happy they know how to get
my kids
into
know
a
my phone
phone.
number.
That's
old are
good.
your
Oh, this kid is
I
up
mean,
there.
they 10 and 14.
Okay.
But they know that they.
But I'm like, if you could teach them
them.
6 letters, you could add 3 more and teach them your
I don't
phone
know.
number.
I don't know if my daughter knows my exact phone number. She definitely know her mom's number. But when she was, I think, going to like 2nd grade or whatever, like we drilled in like our address, like where you live,
That's
who your
important.
parents
You have
are,
to.
that sort of stuff. Whatever. You said like if you get lost, then yeah. But
These kids, they don't listen.
But
Oh
see,
my
I think
God.
he made a point though. See how we talk about emails and all that stuff? That's where it starts. Because at the end of the day, we already ahead of the game. If we know the email, so we.
So you think it started at home, so
Yeah.
or not the school?
Yeah, I would say because in reality,
Yeah,
me,
you could say that.
like me growing up, me knowing my phone number, my address, that was my parents. It wasn't like phones didn't exist. So then now you instill the same type of concept.
that is a good point.
I mean, like,
You know-
like I said,
It ain't the school's
the teacher
job to
comes,
teach that.
The parent
Yeah.
gotta, you gotta teach it. That's why I asked in the previous episode. It's up to us, our job as parents, to teach our kids certain things. We
Yeah.
don't rely on the school to do.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because
But back then, the school did teach them everything. Like I learned how to mail something through school.
nah, school teach
I learned my
I learned
cursive
how to write
through
letters.
school.
I learned that.
They don't teach
I mean,
cursive
but
anymore.
that's
They don't
not-
teach
not a
none
thing.
of
They
that
don't teach
anymore.
cursive anymore.
Not at all.
What?
Yo, I
that shit
remember
was mandatory,
Yeah,
bro.
I learned how to
I
write
remember
script
my
out of class.
Haitian moms popping me on my knuckles because I have, even to this day, I have chicken scratch. I'm at the point where, like, listen, I'm grown. If you can't read, you can't read it. Fuck it.
I ain't gonna lie.
You
My
gotta get an
mother, my
email.
mother smacked the shit out
My
of me one
mom,
summer.
my mom used to, I used to get homework, and this is when I was like, so I mentioned on a previous episode, so I went to Catholic school up until 8th grade, and they're a lot more rigid with a lot certain things or whatever. So when you go home, you get the homework, and like my parents, we used to have to sign my homework.
Oh, word?
Yeah, so like every day you do homework at the whatever sheet they gave you in your
Ain't got
notebook.
my parents
my
had to
parents had to
sign
sign.
it. Word, 'cause I ain't
My
never
parents
do
had to
it.
sign
That's
it.
fucked up.
So my mom will come and she'll look at it. She'll be like, get the big eraser.
Erase your whole shit?
Redo it. And then come out there. I'm like, yo, my handwriting is gonna be my handwriting.
Wait,
bro.
she erased your whole homework?
You know what's so crazy? My mom's handwriting is not that great.
I would have made her. I'd have made her do it.
I think it's restricted. I don't know. I think when
I'd have
you're
made
in
her
the
do
medical field, I feel like they re-teach you how to
You know
how to
why?
write bullshit.
It's called free write because you have to move so fast. I work in the ED department. I ain't gonna say what hospital, but like it's like everything's going so fast. You got to take notes and hand that off, and you got doctors. You got to put a medication. If not, niggas gonna die. So they literally are learned how to like write in a way where it's like you gotta
1 second.
you really know what it like. If you work in a hospital, like you could look at this shit, like okay, I know what this is. But if I show it to one of y'all, it'll take you like maybe 15 minutes to understand what the fuck she's
That's
saying.
some
bro.
yo. I didn't got a prescription for shit. I'd be like,
Where the
What
perks?
hell
he
is-
said this, and then he give me my shit. I'm like, bro, this shit is a dash, a slash, and then like a long ass
That
line.
shit went up and came back
That
down.
shit said, I'm like, but I mean, but not, that's to your point. I guess that does make a lot of sense. But I guess for my mom too was looking like I want to make sure that he can write
She grimy
more
fast.
clearly, correctly. But you know what's so crazy? I'm thinking about it. Even back then, I was like, yo, when I get older.
It doesn't
Cause,
matter.
cause back then that was like I said, my sister was like going to like high. My brother and sister they went to like they continued into like Catholic education or whatever. So my parents sent them to Laughlin.
Oh, shout outs to Bishop Logan, the best high school in America. If you know, you
that.
know.
But yeah, but they sent them to Laughlin. So they, in their mind, they were like, yo, we got to continue on with making sure that they're rigid with these sort of things or whatever. I looked at them like, yo, I'm not doing that, bro.
I'm going to the show.
right?
Yeah.
I know, but I want to
I'm going to E-Hole.
Oh, you went to Millwall, yeah.
Oh, close enough. Close
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
That's like
Yo, Midwood was my
Lachlan,
dream
Midwood.
school.
Yeah, it's like-
Midwood was my dream school, son.
Word?
Oh
Why?
my! What, you never took the B6 home from the junction?
Nah, I went to
Boy, they
Millwood to
had-
take a sanitation test. That's about it.
Yeah, I took the transit test there, but some Midwood had the baddest broads
Nah,
ever,
they was going to
son.
South. They was on their way to South Shore.
Nah, it's probably on the
I
cheap
don't know,
side.
bro.
That
I'm
could
from. I live. I'm
be.
from-
Nah,
Could
she
be.
went
You went to the
49.
show?
But if you-
Yeah.
but-
Oh, so I'm from
but that's-
56 and 8, so I seen South Shore very well.
you right on the sides. yeah.
Midwood had it, son.
Nah, but the best thing about being on those sides, right? Even though we digress, the fact that when you're in Junction, like everybody crosses. Like even if you go in, even if you
Son,
go in
that
the
shit's the worst.
B6,
Junctions would be.
you going towards
Son, these
Canarsie.
kids these days don't
Won't-
know
won't
what
understand that.
junction
Here's
was,
the thing.
bro.
Here's another thing I want to
They,
say, right?
y'all wasn't outside, bro.
Yo, wait,
You wasn't outside.
And I
Wait,
tried
wait,
to-
wait,
I
wait,
went-
outside,
I work in
outside.
high school and I let them know, like, yo, y'all don't know what we
starters,
had to
man.
go
Bro,
through.
On top
but
of
here's
that,
another thing, though,
both,
right?
Both junctions, whether it's
Nah,
Broadway,
Broadway junctions for serial killers.
whether it's Broadway,
That's for serial
Flatbush
killers.
Junction, different.
But here's
shit.
another thing too. So like even for what you said, right? Like, I know from me, when I was walking around as a kid, like 12, 13, bro, the chance of you getting robbed was like 65%. Like a nigga like, yo, you know what time it is? You take out your phone, it's over, or your Metro card.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is too, like when I'm just being biased, but when I be hearing people, it's like, oh, you know, kids have so much pressure. And I'm like, y'all niggas not getting robbed no more, bro.
Yeah, ain't come out of school getting cut on Halloween.
Y'all creating pressure for yourselves. You know what I'm saying? Y'all here worrying about ball mains. Like, I was worrying about going with my sneakers on, bro. Like, you know how I feel for a nigga to take your book bag? Like, nigga, your book bag. Like, what? Imagine you come home with no textbooks. Now you got no bag and no
You
books.
can't come out to
You
school
feel me?
tomorrow.
Yo, you remember?
What school? Yo, where your book at? Wow.
Son, you remember when people was getting beat up for your Jansport strings,
Of
bro?
course,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah,
Like,
right.
y'all remember when Nike came up with the pull with the
The
sacks?
little
yo,
joints.
Models was
just-
empty. Yeah, you come off that Nike that knapsack,
Bro,
bro.
but you know what's so crazy? It was like
Jansport.
$14.
See, I didn't really have to go through any of that. My parents wasn't as fortunate to give me any of that.
I didn't have. Whoa,
so I
whoa, whoa.
never really got
I did not say that.
I had
Listen,
nothing.
listen,
Oh,
listen,
you was the
listen.
robber. That's what it was.
I ain't got it, but I'm gonna get it.
It's either you got robbed or you was robbing, but you was no in between shit.
Nah, I was
Yo,
in between.
I'm gonna tell you. When we
shit.
talk about the previous episode, like I ain't listen. We ready to talk about. I damn sure ain't have it. Fuck that shit.
Yo,
they wasn't letting it rock.
There's a small party I just about to sound mad crazy and stupid, right? But there's a small party I wish that y'all kids had that went through that type of shit.
Yeah, it's a fact.
Yes.
You know what I
Certain
mean?
parts.
'Cause I'm
Certain
gonna
parts.
Say, but like,
you see, like niggas like us, the reason why I say like we are the golden children is like you said earlier, we really literally had life prior to the internet. We were here at the beginning of the internet, and we've been going through the evolution of the
this
internet.
generation of us is real.
You feel me?
I
different.
don't think I agree with you, but
Yeah.
to a certain extent, I don't think we as golden as the time before us because they went through like the crack.
No, I mean that's
They
different.
had to deal with that. They had to deal with
That's
crack.
slavery. But here's the thing, though, right? When the internet came, a lot of them niggas was kind of lost. We was kind of technology.
Some of them are
savvy
still
a certain
lost to this
extent.
day.
Like we knew
Some
how
of
to
them
work.
still got them
we
flip
knew
phones
how
that
to.
last 2 weeks.
Like we knew how to work an iPod, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Or like when MacBooks came out. So how do you feel now with kids? Like, so my problem with my niece and the people of her generation is like this. Y'all don't know life outside of the internet, and that shit
the
is
problem.
bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's
That's
a
the
whole
problem.
world. Like, it's two worlds. There's the world we're in now, and then there's the internet world. So, like, when I be trying to tell them, yo, go out with your friends, go to the movies, interact with each other, get off online, because God forbid, I don't know what the fuck will happen. But if the internet crashes, what's going to happen to you?
Y2K.
Yo,
You know?
remember that? Yo, you know
We
what's
was
supposed to
the-
die,
the
bro.
millennial- the millennial.
I remember being in school, right? I think Y2K.
I was
7th grade because I graduated 8th grade.
Y'all niggas
01.
old as shit. I was in the fucking first grade in
we
motherfucking
the-
2000.
How old are you?
I'm 27.
Oh, you 27.
I'm gonna be
Oh,
28
You're a
nigga.
baby, man.
Yeah, man.
I've been through some things though.
You make me feel old.
Oh, that's
That's bad. I'm only 30 and I
that's
feel
crazy.
old.
So I was wondering whose stroller that was in the hallway.
With the bike? Wow.
That's kids.
Wow. Crazy.
Cardio.
Nah,
Cardio.
but you know what's crazy? But what you said is a very valid point, right? So we grew up through it, and now we're living in it. So we're constantly evolving with it. So it's not nothing new to us. It's like, all right, so it's just the next update for us.
But our generation too has been long. Like, I mean, not long.
It's been a lot going on.
A lot happening now.
Nah, think about it.
Because you think about it now, like you said.
Now you think about it.
No, you think about it. You think about it, right? Is that we was around before internet.
Yeah.
The fact that he can remember who even
Al
started
Gore.
internet.
Nigga said Al Gore.
Signed off on it.
That was a serial killer, to be honest.
Signed off to that. Then the internet. Then we coming around where, all right, like, you know, downloading music started happening. Then
Nah, wait, you skipped the part. Remember when you had to pay for songs?
Exactly. So you
Sorry,
started
nah,
paying
it
for
was
songs.
all- remember you had to- you had to pay for-
What's that?
Yeah, what you gonna say? I never Go ahead.
Before that, me and my brother, classic shit. Where you had the tapes.
Take
Oh,
that.
the radio.
Oh,
My brother. My brother.
Yeah.
Shouts to my brother. He was the only person that all the G Unit freestyles, the Dipset shit,
yeah,
the Lloyd Banks. Oh,
the
that's
Rockefellers.
that's you cannot
that's
do
what
that
I'm
now.
saying. You know what's
I'll
so
give you
crazy?
one better. My
Yo.
cousin had the Joel Santana Dipset anthem video on cassette, on VHS. So we put it in the stick and we watched it before it
Fire.
even dropped, bro.
Yo, let me tell you,
Shout out to my son, Rich Young Matt.
shout out to my one of my childhood friends, Franz. We had a half a day one day, went to his crib after school, whatever. That's how we had to end up watching the fucking Uchiwali video. His older brother and my older sister was in the same grade. His brother recorded his shit.
Son, that's
He
like.
for the BT and cut
BT,
Johns.
I was
chill. Yo, that's good. Yo,
With the tip drill.
BT Uncut?
Tip drill.
I used to come home from Empire and get right. Y'all fucking.
See, I lived in life. I was asleep and I didn't have cable, so
But that's why I had to go to me neither.
Nah, my son, I'm from the trenches. I can't relate to
You
you.
know, hold on, real quick before we get back.
remember that, though.
Speaking of cable, so we never had cable. When we finally got a cable box, we owned, like, my parents got like it was like 3 extra channels for no reason. But we had this guy in our building, right? You know, talking about the guy, the generation before us, right? The crack era and shit. You know how? Yo, listen, people from that generation who's born in the '70s, shit,
Different.
they always
Different,
hustling
bro.
some shit.
Yeah.
they don't need a job. They never had one.
either.
One of the flyest motherfuckers I ever seen. He had one of the I forget what they call it, but like we call it like the skip box. So you plugged it into the cable box, but into the actual cable shit, and it had like a little dial inside. So now you can get any
He
channel.
jailbroke your cable box in '98.
Yo,
He jailbroke your cable box.
for y'all outside who know what time it
He
is,
was
yo,
the first jailbreaking
bro.
nigga. What year was this?
That was on some like CI. It was a little box, was like this big,
Yeah.
and it had a split cable. So you connected to your cable box,
Yeah.
and then somebody had to cut the cable line and connect to that
You
shit.
sharing cable.
And when you put it
What
in
year
there,
was this?
Nah,
I was
See, my
young.
parents
I was
had
like
that, but it was
7,
different.
8.
Oh, this
My
is the
parents
90s.
had one cable box.
Uh-huh.
It was in the living room.
With the red-
It's
with the red
accessible
time?
to everybody. Yeah,
Yeah.
with the red time.
Because now you got
But it
extra
was
cord.
wires
Everywhere.
go that room. So you got to change the channel from the living room. You can't change it anywhere else.
Everybody was
You don't
the same
gotta-
thing.
everybody
yeah,
watching
yeah,
the
yeah.
same thing.
That's
Oh,
that.
you
That
dead
was
ass?
that's the cable box.
dead.
The black joint with the red.
Oh, the
Yeah.
red. With the black remote.
See?
Hey, they on top.
buttons
They-
on
what's
top.
up, everybody?
Oh yeah,
Yo,
yeah.
y'all don't even understand,
But
bro.
I'm saying all that happened in that time.
Yeah,
When
that's
the
a
kids
fact.
come around, you can watch TV on your phone. Like
Yeah.
DVR. What the hell is a
you don't let me
DVR?
off. Yeah.
Yo, bro, if you didn't watch
oh.
it, yo, sorry. Every
You
Sunday.
say sorry, you keep doing it.
Yeah, I'm not sorry.
He ain't that
Sorry.
sorry. He said, yeah,
Now,
he's
go ahead,
sorry.
now, go ahead. I got
what
a point.
you saying?
Yo,
You already said sorry.
every Sunday, every Sunday, my mom used to give me it used to be $1.25 to go buy the daily newspaper. We never wear a newspaper.
Daily News don't tweet back then. It's like
It was like
Yeah, that shit's like
no,
yeah.
no. Sunday.
Oh,
This
not
is
the
Sunday.
Sunday
This is
one,
always
yeah,
cost
with
more.
Oh,
with the,
okay.
Coop-
Only
Yeah.
old heads know that.
Sunday this should cost more.
Like
it's my New York Times or some
You know,
shit.
like nowadays, the people come and they throw like the marketeer shit at your crib for the
never had
coupons.
Target in
They
there.
didn't have nothing there. There was Target in there back then. I don't think so. But
It was a
my
thing.
mom would send me
Yo,
go
I
buy
remember
the
like
newspaper,
Target.
right?
Okay.
So I would always take that's when I first found out what the Boondocks was. I would always take the comic strip
Yeah.
and the TV guide. So if you miss some
Oh
shit,
yeah, they had a
watch
TV.
this,
so if you
watch
miss
this.
some shit,
Yeah,
if you miss
watch
your
this.
show,
I'm
if
about
you
to
miss
bring
your
it back.
show,
I'm about to
hold
bring
on.
it back.
If you
Go
miss
ahead.
your show, you have to go along to the next day, to the next day, to the next day. All right, yo, it's coming on again on Thursday.
Yes,
I gotta
I
catch that shit.
remember that. Yes.
Now watch this. I'm
I
about to hit
remember
y'all
that.
fuck y'all up right now. You know nowadays, right? Sneakers. You go on the sneaker app,
Oh,
whatever app
God.
sold out. Back then,
Gotta get online.
nah.
You had to keep
nah,
it,
East
bro.
Bay
You have
book.
to get the East Bay
yeah,
books,
I forgot.
son.
Oh,
East
yeah,
Bay book.
yeah,
East Bay
yeah,
book come. You go.
yeah.
Oh, these coming out in 2 more months. All right, you gotta be on it. Like yo, me mark my
Yeah,
calendar.
because-
Next one come out next month.
Because think about it, there was no internet to know when shit was coming
Exactly.
out.
No way.
The East
So-
Bay, East
Yeah,
Bay.
y'all
if
was,
you
y'all was so fortunate.
Nah, the East
I didn't have East Bay.
Nah, I didn't have that. Over my cousin's crib.
Yeah.
And I was to go see they book and look. Oh, all right,
just
these
look at the
dropping.
book.
I had
All
one
right.
didn't
pair
bother.
of sneakers for the whole school.
I'm about to
year.
say I didn't bother because I knew my parents were gonna look at me like stupid.
Nah, see,
I'm
I grew up in the hood, so I was getting.
Remember when the
feet.
what's thing used to come in? Around Christmas time, the Toys R Us.
The Toys R Us books. They-
And
Oh,
Yo,
you know what's
Bible
funny, bro?
toys.
I drove in the Toys R Us parking lot. I deadass got goosebumps, and that shit closed down.
Yo,
Now it's back up. It's back open.
I'm talking about the one by King's Plaza.
Oh, okay.
I went in the park. I was going to a restaurant, so I made a U-turn. I was in the park, like, yo, wow, I still get chills, like just looking at this
See?
shit. That
Yeah, I've
ass,
been,
bro.
I never even seen what Toys
I
R Us
don't
is.
believe you, bro. Ain't no way you ain't never been to Toys R Us, bro. Ain't no way you never been. Nah.
Window shopping. So we used to run downtown and ride the bikes and break them
shit on
shits. Right?
Fulton?
I never even
Downtown
been
Brooklyn.
downtown.
We used to
With
come
the
At that
giraffe.
Yeah,
Giraffe.
we was
Cause
coming out
that
there
age,
riding
I
the
only
bike.
stayed in Flatbush. I never been downtown.
No, that was when I finally got to high school. That's when I used to go travel out because we had kids that came from
see,
different.
I was
spots,
a bad
like
project
the
kid, so I was
Ford
out-
or
I
whatever.
was-
But first of all, that was shit right by you. It was on the
But you
floor
know
anyway.
what was crazy? Growing up, before me got to high school, me and my man used to ride from downtown Fort Greene all the way up to Flatbush, up to like Avenue J on like 34th, the area where the houses is at.
Yeah.
And we just steal niggas' bikes and ride it back.
That's
to the
what
hood.
that's what my bike went.
But yeah, it's a high chance.
You know what type of
but-
nigga
but-
you are?
Nah,
The
nah,
niggas was riding a bike with another bike.
nigga
outside.
outside.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you what the fucked up part about it. We went and did that shit, right? It was no point of us doing that. We come back to the hood. We can't bring these bikes to our crib. Our mom's gonna be like, yo, yeah,
Who bike
Get
is
that
this?
bike from.
so
man.
we was leaving the shits like in the staircases on the roof.
And they get stolen.
no,
and,
oh,
and
you-
niggas, so
Come and
some
steal
other
the
nigga
bike.
that was tough in the hood took our bike. I can't say nothing to the nigga. I'm like, yo, get up. Son, I can't.
Get on the bike I stole.
Yeah, I can't say that. So I said like, why? I'm getting another bike tomorrow.
Yo, you never. I'm going shopping.
What? You had one at home.
Get another one.
I'm
Flatbush.
shopping.
We rode the Flatbush allegedly and just went in niggas' backyards and took niggas' bikes.
Yo, it's mad funny. Shout out to my boy Tao TV.
somebody
The
watching
nigga
too,
told me
like
today when he was a
Flatbush. Oh,
kid,
that's my bike.
he told me he had robbed a nigga for his Walkman. And he was on the train listening to music.
Walking.
And then he got off the train and a nigga robbed him for the Walkman he just stole.
Yo,
Like,
and
damn,
yo,
that's
that shit-
Amazon
Yo,
delivery
listen,
or call.
yo,
These
listen,
kids don't
listen.
even know what a Walkman and CD player
They don't know.
is.
They don't know what it's like. That yo, you need batteries to operate some shit.
But,
Yeah.
but you know what I want to say though. All jokes aside, so the one thing that I don't really like about technology and how kids are so wrapped up into it, people who are born in this technological era, they don't know how to be resourceful. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's
so
literally
like
on their phone.
Yeah,
They
so it's like, you know,
literally
like
do whatever
we
they want.
think about, we all have to be creative, bro. Like you ever played fucking when you was a kid? This is real simple. Imagine when you was a kid, you used to play freeze tag, hide and go seek, and it turned into freeze tag automatically.
A booty
You
tag.
know what I'm saying? If you nasty, you know what I'm saying? And it's like
Manhunt, don't find me.
Or
I'm
like,
with Shorty.
I'll give you one better, bro. No, I keep it a buck, bro. When I was like a teenager, yo, me and my cousin, we used to go out and drink. I used to wake up like at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a Wednesday. We could go out Wednesday night and find like 6-7 parties to go to. No Eventbrite,
No,
nothing.
none. Yeah,
You
yeah.
feel me?
It's
Like
word of mouth.
people
We
today don't know how
demolish
to.
mad people's basements.
They don't know
That's
how to
shit,
read.
bro.
Without a cell phone.
Yeah, people. I don't
Running
like the
somebody like,
fact.
yo, what's going on? Oh, I heard some shit over here going on. I ain't
Yeah.
go over there yet, but
You know what I'm saying?
you go
Like,
check it out.
I don't like the fact that people don't know how to be resourceful. Like, the internet is cool, and that's why I say I fuck with it, because yo, like, it's granted we evolve with it, we not really absorbed into it like other people are. So I feel like
'Cause we
niggas-
know a way of life aside
So,
from it.
but here's the thing:
exactly.
people are dying over social media. Like, people are looking at social media is really like
their life.
So life is here, and social media is here with some people. So like when I be seeing people that like, oh, like what we were saying earlier, like with depression, shit like that. Oh well, damn. Like when I was a kid, we had limos to go to prom. Niggas is getting Ferraris and
Yeah,
Rays. Well, damn,
exactly.
Maybachs.
I can't get a
They
can't get a
showing out.
Maybach for my prom. Y'all don't know what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
you know what
My
I'm saying.
son is not getting any of that.
How old is your
I'm
son?
him
bringing
off.
him out. My son is one.
He's one.
But I'm bringing,
Talking about 18 years
Yo,
later.
about 20 years from now,
Yo,
nigga don't
yo,
expect
when-
nothing.
18 years from now, he gonna be like Elroy Jetson falling out of
Yeah,
space.
he
Going
want
to
a spaceship.
That
bro.
nigga gonna skydive the prom. Nigga, what the fuck is you talking
want a
about?
there's
Tesla.
kids that do that now. They coming out of planes.
You that ass? I have
Yo,
never seen that.
You know what's even crazier? Like, yo, when it was prom, the shorty you wanted to talk to or you was messing with or whatever, all right, we gonna be out to prom? All right, say less. Now, it's like promposals. Like,
Oh,
yeah, it's
I'm
like,
like,
yo,
yo,
Miss Bernardo Shorty, yo. It's first
prom
also you coming regardless.
I saw
Like,
some,
you
yo,
come-
one of my mans from my, college or whatever, right? He had posted a family member of his. They did a promposal. They live in like, you know, suburbia or wherever in West
wild.
Bubblefuck and whatnot. But regardless of the fact, I was like, yo, the dude pulled up legit in a horse and carriage.
Nah, that's fine.
Like 2 dozen, like don't get me wrong, it's fire.
Horse and
but not
carriage.
for no freaking. And here's the crazy thing.
what
I didn't know- I
which
didn't-
grade?
I-
Which grade that was?
That's
Yeah,
the funny. That's the funny thing. Right? So
Get to the funny thing.
I'm trying to get
I'm
to
ready
it.
to
God
laugh.
damn it, he
Shit.
asking. Shit. So when we was in high school, it was prom. You were senior, it's prom. Wherever they're from, there's junior prom and senior prom. He was a junior going on junior prom.
Yeah.
Bro, I was like, son, what does this cost? He was like, yo, it's fucking crazy. Son, they spent 5 bands to ask Shorty to go to prom.
So, nigga, that's more than a prom.
The ticket like
He spent 5
$67.
bands. Yo, but here's my thing, right? Like, and kind of like where I'm going with this is, your parents, you probably don't got 5 bands, bro.
Motherfuckers is wealthy.
Majority of the time, I mean, all right, say making all things even, right? You from a middle class family, or whatever the case may be, and you live in like
If you got him, you ain't trying to
Suffolk
spend it.
County or some shit, whatever.
I ain't
but
trying
but still,
I'll
right?
take care of it.
So this day and age, right? Going back to what Lou was saying, the way that kids and everything is set up with the press of social media, the kids are seeing it. So like, yo, I seen somebody do it, so I have to do it. So the fact that as a parent, you're allowing them to spend 5 bands just to ask a young lady to go to prom, because
It's not even a prom.
But hold on, but because you also got to understand, right? She could say no.
You know,
Yo,
you know how
let me
hard
keep
that
it
is.
a buck 50 plus 50.
She could be like, I'm
If
good.
I rent a horse and carriage to propose to my prom date, and she say no,
It's
I'm
lit.
transferring.
It's like-
I'm getting a safety
what
transfer.
choice do you have?
I'm getting a safety.
What choice do you
You
have?
will never see
Because-
me in
and
block
here's-
with a
here's-
First
picture.
off, my sister's gonna jump her.
And my sister's gonna beat you up for no ass reason. I don't
Here's
care.
the thing, right? Back in the day, like, when we was going, it was like you just asked and that was it. There wasn't like somebody recording or whatever.
Even write a little note.
Right, whatever.
Yo,
it is.
Yes
But-
or no with a box.
But now that
You
becomes
feel
into
me?
the pressures that, you know, I think that starting at home, allowing our kids, right, whether it's like what we dressing them in at what age, you know, letting them earn like earn certain things, earn certain privileges
Kids-
or whatever.
What's the
You know what
root
I'm
of
saying?
that though? What do you think the root of that stems
I
from?
think for me it's twofold, right? I think it's one part where the parents never had it, so now they can afford it. They want to make sure that the kids have it, or their parents always had it, so they look at it as this is just a constant way of life. Whatever my kid asks for, they ask for. And I think for us, it kind of is a good blend, right? Like I know for me, it's like it's almost like I'm in the halfway side of where I never had it growing up. So I want my kids to be able to have it. But I also understand why my parents didn't. So I'm not going to be like, you're not spending 5 bands to ask some shorty out Are you?
See,
So here's the
my,
thing.
my son's
So
gonna
here-
have game, bro.
That's
I'm not
$0.
worried
Yeah,
about
that's
that.
fact.
here's my take on it, right? I feel in a way, honestly and truly, like it don't even really have like it has something to do with that, but I really feel it stems to social media because everything is so accessible now. So you feel me? So like now, like when we were kids growing up, like yeah, we had BET, so we see rap, we see Fab with jerseys on, with the mics on and shit like that. But now with social media, you get to see like you get detailed views of like these celebrities and the life that they live, and
crazy.
like Instagram is just a moment. So like you don't actually have to live that lifestyle. You just have to live for that moment.
But you
know
also
what I'm
have
saying?
with social media too is that you got regular people who ain't even getting it like that, who's looking like that too.
That's what I'm
So
saying.
that's-
They doing that.
It's a moment.
The moment.
If you even look on it, it's more people that ain't. I wouldn't say ain't nobody, but like, you talking about Fab, Jay, whoever. It's more regular people. They're like, who the hell is this dude? Like
Yeah.
jumping out the plane. I'm like, I don't know.
So
but then
that's a good point, right? So,
Yeah.
so now, for us
We
who
also
are,
getting too.
I apologize.
Yeah, that's for the sixth time.
I'm there, but
This
yeah,
episode.
This
I feel
episode.
like
I do apologize. I wasn't
Everything
making
is
the
so
point, but the
accessible,
point you made
man.
was
He
actually
don't care.
really good because it just sparks something real quick. So now, as us as who are as parents, right? And then maybe you can attest to like your parents' perspectives on it. Now, what role do we play in? Like we see social media, so we know what's going on. Where do we kind of guide or put boundaries on what we want to allow our kids to be able to have and do versus when you got to let them know like this is just some bullshit, bro.
But it's also some parents that's
yeah.
blinded to the social
See,
media.
with
It's
me,
bad too.
I could give a fuck about what's online,
He said,
about
I ain't have none of that
what,
shit.
who got on, what got on. I just feel like with me personally,
Says the
if
flyest nigga.
Word with them foreign Crocs on. Get the fuck up out of here.
Listen,
Nigga got 2 chains on. Talking about I didn't have it.
I'm
I
the
ain't trying
flyest
to
nigga now,
change.
but I was never the flyest nigga. So, but
Nah,
I
see,
know
I had
for
some
me
heat back. I saw
personally,
some old pics. Some old pics of you had some heat.
that's high school. You know, high school. You know what I mean? Have my son P got me. Shout out to my nigga P. You feel me? He helped me get through high school. But still, like my son right now, I'm not gonna put like on his birthday maybe.
Occasions.
Occasions. His birthday, we going out to a wedding. He's gonna have on some fly shit. But on the regular, bro, I'm going to the Gap. It's not gonna say the Gap. But he's gonna have a Gap tee on.
But even if it does say the Gap, is that why?
To me, I don't. I'm not big on loud labels anyway.
All
So
right, I was about to say, 'cause
I
I
wouldn't
wanna
put it
see
on
what that
myself,
was.
so I'm not gonna put it on him. I'm not gonna put a shirt.
Says the one says Nike on his chest.
I mean, that's a little different.
But this is
That's like
light. This is not
that's calm.
loud though. Yeah.
It's not loud. It's neon.
Wait.
Hold on, wait.
All right, go ahead.
We had an episode, right?
Yeah.
That had like a neon
It
construction
was neon yellow, man.
But this guy here,
Bro, this is regular.
he got the Flagger shirt on. Like, he real
dead.
bright.
That came in the same pack of markers.
Yeah.
Oh my
that was
God.
the same pack.
This
But you
is
know,
cold,
He waited to wear his though.
But you
Definitely
know,
not,
but
but-
you know what point I wanted to say to y'all. Also, I just thought about it when you said it. Right, think about it like this. Right, when we were kids, our parents probably wouldn't put us in the like designer shit. But how much bread did your mom and dad probably spend on your suits to go to church?
Oh yeah.
So everybody got a vice, but it's different. I'm not really spending no bread for if I have a kid, I'm not gonna ball out for this little homie to go to church, but I probably will maybe put in some fly shit. So I feel like our vice is probably just shifted because we kind of know what we find is wavy. Our parents probably found 3-piece suits wavy. It was never wavy, but they found that wavy when we was kids.
But
you know
I
what
think
I'm saying?
too, what also happened with that, whether it was like the suits or whatever, or however you dressed the kids back then, I still feel like it wasn't. It was more to look good versus it was the label.
What you mean?
So, for instance, as a kid, my parents spent a ton of time in Sears, right off of Beverly. And
Shout out
Bedford,
by Flatbush.
right? So you can go in there and you can find everybody in the family suits and probably spend $100.
Facts.
But nowadays, somebody might go and say, "Well, no, I need to make sure that my kid has a Tom Ford suit." And it's like,
know that's Tom Ford.
right? That's what I'm saying. You know, certain shit is like they want to do it so like, and they'll like what they'll do is like pick their kid up and like purposely like maybe tilt the label to show like it's Tom Ford. Like I can give my kid
See, what I'm
this,
saying,
you know,
it's
stuff
kinda
like
goes in the
that.
line, like what we're saying, because
That's
then
an illness.
It's the family,
Social media
not the
illness.
family, it's the parents. Because I don't think that. I mean, at what point does a child know what is Tom Ford? Unless
I know Tom Ford, so I got grown.
Exactly. So it's just like, so at what point does a kid know? All right, let's just randomly say, your son, you keep throwing Yeezys on him. He don't know what the hell Yeezys are.
You throwing subs at me, man?
No, I wasn't.
Shots
I was
fired.
talking to him because he said that
on Sunday though.
He definitely did. My fault, man.
okay.
You know, my man.
That's my son. No guy, his son do.
Yeah.
Nah.
I'm not paying for those.
He
Reality
weighing the
is,
fuck out them shits though.
yeah,
It's
he
just
was.
like
Right. I got those too.
just-
So then, but the fact is like the kid don't know. So then I remember my uncle used to say I always remember that line. He says, the man makes the item, the man makes the price. So it's no different than it's like the Yeezys on your son's feet. Most kids at some point they're like, I want Spider-Man shoes. You probably be like, I ain't putting no Spider-Man shoes on your feet, but the kid will love Spider-Man.
See, that's the thing that I feel with my son when he get of age, where he start knowing like he want to do Spider-Man, Superman, whatever. Doubt.
But then
I'm a baller.
that's-
I'm a baller. Fuck on Spider-Man.
But then some that
He
will
gonna
say, yo,
Amazon
I'm not putting them damn Spider-Man shoes on because
Say,
So if you want to be like a gothic kid, you go all black.
What you mean
everything.
gothic? Why gotta be gothic?
I'm just saying.
I'm talking about.
Niggas,
if
don't wish that on my son.
No. If that's what he wants to do, like I'm not gonna never try to stir my kid to be a way like or like me. Or if he felt he want to do that, that's what he into. Then I will support it, regardless of what it is. If you want to be gothic out. But I mean, but I don't feel he will go that route. There's nothing wrong with being gothic, but if you want to do that, cool. But my thing is, I'm just saying. My point is, whatever my kid want to do, and he
You're just never gonna deprive him of anything.
far as a kid,
either.
if you want to be a kid, he want to have this, have that. It's funny. It's better. It's cheaper.
Exactly.
And it's more
Yeah.
funner.
And that's
to do
the part
that.
what I'm saying,
It's more
where
fun. I
it's
dress
like-
up as a fucking Superman and walk around the crib all day. If that brings some thrill,
We be.
it's lit.
And that's the part
we
where I'm
be-
trying to say. My fault,
No,
man.
go ahead. Go do that.
It's my point where I'm trying to say because we asking that question in a sense. Is like, where is that starting or where is it coming? Is it from social media or is it from the parenting? But then the first person your kids should be listening to is mom and dad anyway. So if in reality, what happens now? Like we all like nice things because we have that age of liking nice shit. But then now, my kid's gonna see me with some J's on my feet, some Yeezys on my feet, and so forth. It's only because the fact that he's seen that I have that he's gonna want it. But then it's also us as parents, like we were saying before, it's just like, you have to know what the value of something is at the same time too. A reason why I could put these on my feet because I work bust my ass for them.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't that they fell out the sky and I put them on my feet. And then like you said, you got a special event. Yeah, you put something nice because it's a special event. That's how we grew up on. Like, yo, like you said, if something good is happening, his birthday, I'm going to get you something nice. But
Like
then,
some slides. Like
Yeah.
I had on Yeezy slides the other day, and I got some. My girl got some. She's like, I'm not wearing mine because Steph don't got a pair. I'm like, bro, he would have. I said, even if we would have got it from a couple months ago, he would have grew out of it because now he's a different size.
and I don't think he's
Right.
going to look at him like, why I don't got a pair. He was like,
He's
like,
1 year old.
He's like,
What?
You don't know what the fuck going
So
on.
with what you're saying, right? I halfway agree, right? So
like, hold.
I'm gonna explain to you why. So in terms of like the kids, right? So the kids, they see you first, right? So my kids might see me in J, whatever brand I'm wearing, right? And my kids might be like, oh, I want that. My parents have that, right? Even if I explain to them, yeah, I work hard, I get it, whatever. The part that also that we didn't cover yet, we'll get into is with the social media and stuff like that, right? Because
You stopped me.
I didn't. Steve said something. Don't blame that cutoff on me, motherfucker.
It ain't my turn.
So exactly. So the kids now, right, will see social media, or they'll be in school with kids, and kids will be like, oh, they will purposely make sure that they tell people like, yo, these are my queens. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got that or whatever, or this is my that, whatever the case may be. So now those kids now making it be like, oh, like I'm better than because whether my parents have it or they're giving it to me, however they're getting it, now becomes a social construct. Back then, like we was outside, like we knew who was getting money.
Nah, it's a little different. These kids now are scamming, do all kinds
But
of shit.
hold-
Yeah,
even,
that's-
no. But even all right.
See, that's what I'm torn. I don't
hold on.
know if my kid get to high school if I'm not gonna let him OD on these little
Hold on.
niggas.
Hold on. This is Kim. Hold on. That's true, but that's a conscious decision, right? But what I'm saying is, even before that, right? Let's talk about from like first grade to sixth grade, middle school. I mean, elementary school, right? Kids in this day and age are still going to school bullying like, yo, like, ew, you got Vans on? Those came out last year, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because they're so into be able to see and find and whatever. Back then, so if somebody had some fly shit on, like that shit is fly, bro. Or you was getting robbed. One of the two. But
You was
it's
more
not-
like getting robbed.
But it wasn't that. Like you was in school and your whole day is spent 24/7 with some kids talking about you on the internet. Like, yo,
you know-
this bum ass motherfucker, he
know-
ain't got this shit. His parents have to be broke. They gotta be disgusting, gotta be dirty. Mind you, the kid be like going to a nice ass crib, chilling, eating steak and whatever every day. But the parents is like, yo, I'm not gonna be just wasting money You know what I'm saying? Because the quickest way to get broke is to just blow your bread. But when you get like, and back to what you're saying with the other half that I do agree on, right? When you get to a point when you can afford what you want to afford and put it on your kids and help them understand like, yo, like, I'm gonna buy you nice things because I wear nice things, but you also gotta understand like I'm outside, playing in dirt, doing what I gotta do to get my bread.
My call sign now, playing the dirt. Huh?
Hey, listen, man, it is what it is. But social media plays a huge part in it. But the people who are parents nowadays with like our age group, a little older, a little younger, whatever, we play a huge part in that because we look at it.
We're right in the middle.
Yeah, exactly. But we know what's going on, but sometimes we still do it. Like we was out a couple of weeks ago. We went to the aquarium. We took Jax to the aquarium, right? Yo, a whole family, and you shout out to my people from Coney Island, but you know who Coney Island people are. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out
the
to
whole
Coney
family
Island.
was dressed like exactly the same.
Like Envy family.
Oh God, I hate when they do this.
Like matching up everything.
And it was like it was like yo, like it was in their mind. Like I mean, listen, I'm not necessarily judging.
No
but it
racism.
was
Were they
funny.
Spanish?
No, they weren't.
Hold on,
They
son.
looked.
Hold on.
No disrespect to my American
my
friends,
lady-
but they looked
my lady
American.
Spanish.
I'm Dominican.
No, sorry, no disrespect to my American friends.
I know
I'm sorry,
what's up.
but they look American black, right? But like,
Oh,
from the
okay.
straight from America, from New York, whatever. But the whole family had on like red bottoms. They had on fucking
I get
jeans,
it.
like the whole shebang to be at the aquarium in Coney
Now, let
Island.
me ask you this now. All right, you say that, right? So they do that, right? But what if like they creating memories and taking pictures and like that's just them creating memories and they want
That's
to
their
just,
thing.
Potentially.
say look, being you speak from outside, not knowing what's really going on. Say like everything they priorities, everything is all straight, everything good. You said Coney Island because you was there in Coney Island, but they don't have to be from Coney Island. That's where you saw them. So say like on the back end,
That's a good.
Nah, I'm just saying, say from the
Nah,
back
go
end,
ahead.
they probably live in a suburban area. Everything is good, and to them, going to the aquarium, like say like growing up for Easter,
It's like an
we want to
outing.
get fly.
Yeah.
So like that for
the
them,
moment.
that's probably one they moment to go and get fly.
I didn't have no Easter.
Oh my!
I'm still. Hold on, I'm sorry.
Damn over there.
So here's what I was gonna get at, right?
All I have, bro.
Milk, food, and water.
Yeah, all right. So I'm actually really, really glad that you said that, right?
Yeah.
Because that was gonna be the other side of the coin I was getting at, where it's like some people look at it and be like, "Yo, like y'all doing too much," but
You can look at
they
it.
just living their life, though. You know what I'm saying? But they're gonna be people, like you said, people only post on social media their happy moments. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't nobody struggling on social media.
Say it again?
That's because if you on social media crying, they just looking at you like, bro, you got
don't
time
get a
to cry.
therapist.
Maybe that's why people only post their happy moments. Because
Maybe.
either way, we talk shit either way.
But
Show
Sai,
them the good at least.
but without even no heads up, but Sai made a fantastic point, right? I wasn't looking at them to judge them. I was just like, yo, they outside and they fly, they together. It is what it is. But I know people are looking at them like, yo, like y'all doing too much, like whatever. But
But
it's
look,
like,
know how I feel? Like really sometimes it's never no. I mean, depending on the situation with a person, it's never no doing too much, right? Because example, right? Say a female, right? She go out and she wear heels a lot, right? She might link up and wear heels. They're like, yo, why she got heels? She doing too much. But that's just what she do.
Exactly.
It's to
That's
her.
what I'm about to say.
To her,
Regular
it's not
thing.
doing too much. To her, this is regular.
Yeah.
But for outside looking in, probably like, yo, she doing too much. But to her, it's like
my off day for me is a on day for
you.
you.
Want to see do too much? Yeah. Like, it's because people I know who got more shoes than they got sneakers. Or like some dudes who got more shoes than they got sneakers. And like, when they come out, I don't understand what's Indian dudes when they stepping out. Shoes on, cologne strong
Regular,
as hell.
yeah.
And this is regular. They got the all white on. It's lit. Like they don't care. But like that's just like it's.
I think that social media created that.
Nah, but it's not. I think it's
exactly
more
what I'm
you.
saying.
Never do too much.
But I just really
That's the
think
trying to-
it's to the
trying to
point
get
where
us
it's like
slowly.
it's fucked up that how we look at it because it's like damn, some people the mass majority be like that's doing too much, but like you want to we can be big closed minded. To understand like what's the reality of it because nobody gonna ask that person yo why you got this, why you doing, no they're gonna ask that.
they hating almost.
It's
Right.
it's more fun to clown it with your mans than to really understand.
Exactly.
Nobody
And so
wanna
that's
understand.
exactly why I made that point, right? So when I seen things, I was like yo, they on some fly shit. Like you, like, but the only reason, like I said, the backstory, the reason I knew was because when I was pulling up or whatever case, and be like, they live like down the block. But like I said, it doesn't matter though. Like it's fine. Like they
Trying to
fly on
stunt,
their own
nigga.
shit.
I'm stunting.
The reason I'm
down the block from the aquarium.
They did.
He was
they-
stalking him.
nah, I
They
know
did.
you
I
don't.
didn't stalk. I didn't stalk him. But I'm driving there, so I'm watching them walk out the building, and then I see
Oh, they
them
walked
inside.
there. Oh, they said, yeah.
They
We
lit.
not flash it.
But here's my thing, right? So
They could have probably been going to something afterwards too.
it doesn't even matter though.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter though. The point is that only because of the way that the social media construct
Created
and
that.
it's causing that, right, is the only reason that people are even entertaining that thought. Because 10 years ago, when it was maybe 15 years ago, when maybe it might have been like just like MySpace or some shit, even without even social media, people were like, yo, they on some fly shit, that's what's up. But now we're looking at it like, y'all that fly only for the aquarium? Y'all doing too much. Nah, you're living your life. You enjoying your fruits of your labor. You doing what you got to do. But because of that social media, because that's how dangerous it is. Because now people are gonna say, "Oh, y'all doing too much. Y'all Hasidity." The people who live next to them are like, "Oh, y'all think y'all better than us." Or the kids are gonna go to school and be like, "Oh, little TT or whatever, feel like he's better than us because his parents could get better clothes." But is it? You know, last episode you talking about, you know, when you can get the kung pao chicken on the block versus whatever. You know, you felt like you was the man, but it wasn't like, yo, I'm shitting on people. It's like, yo, I felt good. I'm trying to do what I want to do.
that's a fact.
But social media these days, and that's why as parents we got to be really, really careful in making sure that at home we're building those fundamentals in our children. Like, yo, like you're gonna get fly stuff. I'm letting you know, like this shit right here. Not everybody's getting this shit, but you got to understand that you got to know that I have to bust my ass to get this, but also you need to do your part in this family to continue to be able to keep those things.
Yeah, I'm gonna say some funny, fucked up shit, right? Like me right now, right? My son, right? We got him a few nice things, right? I'm just doing it personally. This is just real fucked up on my part. Cause when you get older, and they be like, "Yo, you gonna high school, but send me a baby picture." I'm gonna have a lit baby picture.
Yo, you ain't shit. You know
I'm
that?
fucking.
Especially the
I'm really-
what's that Da Vinci jacket called? Because I know that shit was an arm and a leg. And he can't fit right now.
Nah, he fit it now. He still fit that. All right, I
Oh,
mean,
what size is the jacket?
the size?
No, what size is the jacket?
24 months.
I used to send it when he done with it.
All right, disclaimer. People
Because
out
he
there.
gonna be
Look.
18 months in the
No,
winter.
he still fit it. Look, people out there. My son have a few expensive things, right?
Mad expensive shit.
But the reason why we bought it, right? The main reason why, because I know I could resell it and get my bread back, or probably more, depending on what the item is. And I'm waiting till he probably next year. I'm gonna put everything all together and just give it away. Like there's like websites you can sell it.
Like,
No, sell it. No,
Is
give it away.
Poshmark
Like
or some shit like that.
yeah, you get a Poshmark offer up. People will buy it with no problem. Like you'd be surprised, especially it's some things he wore like once, maybe twice. That's like Penny Dry Cleaners is still brand new as well the tag. So end of the day, I really feel like
It was
this.
an investment.
Yeah, like, I mean not an investment. It's like
It was an
But
investment
you-
for him.
but
But
you-
when he got
if I-
that baby picture in a couple
oh yeah,
years.
it's lit.
Right.
It's lit.
But you recycling
I
your bread in a way because you're not
exactly.
wasting it, right?
So that's why I do the like designing things or something too nice. Certain stuff I will spend money on and know like, all right, this is so like good at this point. I could resell this. Like right now, my son got the Yeezy slides from last year, size 4. They still fit. They still good. I could resell those right now and probably pay the same amount I spent retail, probably a little bit more, and I'm fine with that. So $20 on top. So if it's like $35, something like that for the kids. If I tell somebody $45 right now, somebody's gonna buy that.
You're gonna buy them shit.
But no question.
Not gonna be me. I'm gonna take 25.
30, we good. We $30, you know what I'm saying? But for me, so it's like I feel like if I'm buying this expensive stuff and it costs this much bread, I'm able to like get the money back or resell it or somehow give it to somebody, I'm good. I didn't lose. My son wore it, he got fly with it. I passed it on, got the bread back,
You see,
and we good.
So
I broke even.
Yeah, but that's at least you're in the mental capacity to
Nah, I've been-
decide to
first
be
of-
like that.
First
A lot
of
of people
I'm cheap.
ain't like that.
Ask my lady, I'm cheap. She be like,
Yeah.
buy this. I'm like, shit.
My son's birthday outfit for his first year, he had on some Gucci jeans, some Gucci sneakers.
So he had Gucci
Jamaican?
jeans. He had Gucci jeans. Like, come
Jamaican?
on.
I'm Haitian.
oh, all right, shout
Nah,
out to
but
my
it
zone.
don't say like Gucci.
Nah, 'cause I had a joke.
I'm not loud.
Nah, because I had a joke.
it had
Only
the little
Jamaicans
Gucci
will
logo.
wear Gucci everything. Gucci shoes, pants, shirt, hat, car key, everything.
Car
So
key
he
with no
got
car.
that.
You feel me?
So what I did was he wore it. I took the shit right back to Gucci.
Bro,
He got this as
bro,
a gift.
let me
Can I get a
no.
size
Yo,
up?
this nigga is
That's
stupid,
the
bro.
This
Let me
shit
say
fit
something to
this
you, bro. anything that Jax was able to wear and he couldn't walk at the time.
That's it. Take it back.
Yo, y'all told me that. Funny, y'all told me. Remember when we went out for Halloween? You like, yo, this shit going right at the Party City. I said, say less.
When you have your first kid, because you don't have any kids now, when they small, bro, ball out on them. Because they sneakers,
like
they don't get it dirty.
It's not touching the floor.
Not
$20. It's like about
it's $30, $40.
60 when they get a little expensive.
Yeah, but they can't walk, so they're not dirtying them. So you just take it back to the store, get a bigger size. When St. Those come out,
he said, let me get the 28 months now.
That same bread you spent, you was recycling that same bread.
Listen, I got another secret for y'all. Depending on where you going with them. Like, if you're going to some backyard shit and the whole shit gonna get dirty, a little different. But you inside, like we go to a little birthday thing or whatever.
You got
bro, listen. Not even the throwaways. Certain cakes or whatever the case may be, got some baby wipes. Wet it up a little bit, wipe the shit out them bottom, put that shit right the fuck back. It's over.
I ain't gonna lie.
Because when they open the box, they be like,
my son,
okay, cool.
This boy is a sneaker king cleaner. He clean. Any can't sneakers you need to clean. He get crazy with.
Who's that?
Shit, I got some ones I need clean now.
Nah, he bring it back. He scrub the sole, no lie, nigga. Like you be like, oh damn, nigga, like the bottom. Nigga
said they dead stock again.
That's a fact.
But you know what it is though. All jokes aside, what the main point that I just want to get at, because I don't want people to sit here and feel like I'm trying to downplay fly. Like I love fly shit, bro. Like I will spend whatever it is on what it is that I like. But when it comes to like what we were talking about earlier, I just want to make sure like not just even the kids, but just people out there, you don't put too much value into materialistic things. Like I love fly shit more than anything else. I love it. But at the end of the day, I feel like people focus more on a couple things. I feel when people put materialistics above the fundamentals of being a good person, and I feel people put materialistic clothing against like a fly life. You know what I mean? Like I know tell you, we all know the niggas who got Dior kicks but sleep on the floor, or niggas who got, you feel me, like Bentleys but live in the peas. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. I just want to make sure that your priorities are fly as well. You know what I mean? That's really what it all comes down to. Like when I be trying to tell my niece or her friends, where I'm like, yo, listen, fly shit is cool, nigga. I love fly shit. I get J's, whatever. Like I'm here for it. But at the end of the day, like that shit ain't life or death, and don't let that shit make or break you. And it's hard because a lot of these kids was born into social media, into that internet era. So I do try my best to separate social media from real life. So I feel like to parents moving forward, like I feel like that should be like the number one obstacle. Like, yo, try to separate social media from real life. G shit, bro. Because that shit is the hardest thing to do. But
that comes along with the parenting. You being a parent, how you or what you're exposing your kid to. Because kids gonna be kids, they're gonna explore and learn certain things. But if you parent it correct and you make them know at an early age
and
the
still
difference,
those concrete fundamentals from young.
The difference between this and that, like now my kid, like he into he into everything now, like watching Netflix on the phone. So we try to break up everything. Flashcards. You gonna know how to work these flashcards. You gonna know how to work the phone. You know how to turn. Like it's just like you got to spread it all around. So it's not just one thing, one avenue, and that's just all they know. You break it up. So like he know this, but he also know this. Yeah. Also know that. But back to like the whole designer thing, it's like, yeah, you know, it's cool. Who don't want some nice shit, bro? You know?
Who don't want?
But
nice
it's like you gotta
cars
make sure
like
that, everything else before you get that is taken care of.
And that's the part that
you know what I'm saying. A lot of people don't understand. A lot of people don't
feel me. Like
no way, I'm about to bust my ass to work. Make sure you got this fly shit and like
cable off.
Like yeah. No. Say it's example. Like I'm busting my ass to make sure I'm spending my bread saving these checks to get you this one item when you probably haven't ate a decent meal a week prior.
Yo,
like, you know what I'm saying? Like
it really be like that.
No, I know. Like never. Like you feel
home. Maybe that's why I never had shit. But.
Oh my gosh.
Anyhow, yo, listen. My motto, and I tell people all the time, like, yo, I'm not replacing one bill for another bill. I'm not doing that, bro. Like, if we can go out and we can have a great time, we can go out and get bottles or whatever. But if I got something I'm gonna take care of, I'm staying home. Yeah. Because, quite honestly, I'm at the point in my life now where it's like
nobody show up to. Nobody.
Yeah.
Not one person. not a soul.
Listen, I'm not doing it. And I think one of the main points that we made on this show, right, was like understanding that regardless of where kids are getting it from, what they're talking about in the streets, like teaching starts at home.
In the crib.
Those values start at home because some people homeschool. You know what I'm saying? But when your kids know their worth, right? And you talked about it before, and that's something that you taught me a couple of years ago, right? It's affirmations that that like I give to my daughter. Understand, making sure that she knows that she's beautiful, right? Knowing like she's getting older, and I told her, this week
I never got that as a kid.
And that's
most
and
of us
think
don't.
about how
I mean,
much
I don't want to be called beautiful, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Affirmations.
But
That's making it feel good,
parents
low-key.
knowing that you're handsome, you smart, like can't nobody tell you no different. You know what I'm saying? Also now, like I'm gonna start with her. I talked to her, talked to my fiance, and I told my daughter, like, listen, like figure out what you want to do. We're gonna start having date night because I want her to take her out and be like, like you understand how to be treated.
Don't it's not about no bum ass Applebee's and nothing.
Nah. Even if you
nothing wrong with no Applebee's.
I was a king Applebee's.
Hear me out, right? No, but hear me out. But even if I told her you could pick, as long as it's not Sugar Factory, because I fucking hate Sugar Factory.
What? They shit is lit too.
That young nigga, that shit is.
I haven't been there.
That food is fucking diner food and ice, nigga. That shit is trash.
Said, oh my god,
that shit is trash. I don't give a fuck. Tell me what you want to tell me.
Oh my god,
it's not defamation. I'm just speaking to my opinion.
I always like Sugar Factory,
but even if she said, I want to go to Applebee's, right? I'm gonna make sure I open the door for her. Yeah. Let her know, okay, what you want to order what you want to get. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just certain mannerisms and certain things that she needs to understand. Like, ain't no dude's gonna show up to the crib and be like, hey, what?
But close
door his ass. You're in the wrong door.
But I have my son opening the doors? Absolutely.
But you know what he said that also made a good point I want to touch on to it. Because we've been through so much, like what you said, I feel like growing up, I ain't have no words of affirmation. I feel like most parents never really check on how you doing mentally. Like, like a lot of us maybe could have went to therapy, could have got some shit figured out. A lot of us had a lot of traumatic.
They know what that shit was.
No, but nigga, that shit wasn't really a thing like that in the 90s. A lot of us went through a lot of shit that probably got swept under the rug. But I feel like our generation, we've become the face of like reflection and identification. It's like now that we have the tools to do what we got to do, that's really why I wanted to come on, because I'm like, you have the tools to prevent certain shit. So now instead of going right, to push your kid left.
Break the generational
You know what I'm saying?
curse.
Like for real.
And that's the part where my fault. But it's like what I was trying to say is
Can't get you one time.
Pass it on. He's
Can't get you one time.
Turnovers on turnovers.
But I was thinking to myself, like, you have to create. We have to. I mean, even as an adult, we need to be more free thinkers. Because then the reality of it is that we lacking free thought. That's what social media removed. Just like what you said before, you was just like, it's resourceful, but we don't even go in it for the resources. Like, people be laughing at me sometimes, like, how do you know that shit? I'm like, cause I can just pull up on my phone and Google this shit. Like, I be knowing some dumb shit. I mean, it ain't even dumb. It's the most interesting thing.
It'd be 12 stars in Brownsville at 607.
We used to have the encyclopedia. And I say, I don't have to go to the encyclopedia.
Kids don't know what the encyclopedia is, right?
Wait, do they still sell dictionaries?
I don't even know.
There's an app, bro.
I haven't seen a physical dictionary
they sell it,
years,
but
bro.
people's not buying it because you go on everything
and that's the
digital.
part I'm saying is like, so now there's a lack of free thinking, and even when you're saying about kids in the school, it's free thinking again. Like, why don't you know how to send an email? Like, why aren't you thinking outside the box? Besides just like, all right, here's the phone.
That's not how they
put it.
This week, and it's crazy. It's mind-boggling because it's like how, like I asked them for their address because we gotta, it's remote, so we gotta send them their cap and gowns and all that to their house. They're telling me 246 Ralph Avenue, Ralph.
And you know that don't
Boy,
exist.
there's 1,000 Ralphs out there. Like, your 246 doesn't mean that you're in Brooklyn. You could be anywhere.
Yeah, you're
like,
right.
Without your borough or your zip code.
In the city, nigga.
Or even your apartment. I know you don't live in a house.
Oh my God. This nigga is gunning for the family. This is a 3C or D, nigga.
I ain't gonna lie. Some of the things might see
it's
this out
like,
there.
There's no houses on Ralph. Like you
address. There's no
open school night
way.
is going to decide.
I know Ralph from the beginning to the end. There's
But
not one house
crazy?
on Ralph.
You know what's so crazy? Like the fact that like you're asking for that, right? And they can only give you like a partial. But I bet you if they got an Uber or Lyft app, like your address, bro. Like why? Wait.
But
that's what I'm saying. Like you can but this is a simple thing where like you can just copy it. But it's like, why don't you know this?
Because social media has made kids not resourceful.
But not only that, like I said, it's individuality though. It's like, all that is least your individuality. Like, I live in this address at this apartment. That's who makes me who I am. Regardless how it is. So if you sit there and say, I'm just a person in the building, a kid is lacking somewhere that you know that's what it is. Like if you sit there and say, yo, Steve, what do you like? Some kids don't even know.
You know why? Because
Like,
I feel
it's
like
no individuality
I feel
to a
like
kid.
parents also not y'all, but parents in general are noticing and acknowledging how convenient social media is, and they're letting social media raise their kids.
I agree.
A lot of people don't understand, like, yeah, you know, social media is very informative, it's educational, you can learn all that extra good shit. But at the end of the day, bro, you can't just allow social media or school to raise your kids. You raise your kid. I tell people all the time, the main point of a parent is I gotta mold you so that when you're out in the streets or in life and I'm not around, you have to make the best decisions. Whether it's to wake up on time, to get to work on time, know to eat this or not eat this, make sure you sleeping. Like all that shit boils down into parenting. So you could be the best person that I know you can be when I'm not there. I gotta show you how to cross the street with me, so when I'm not there, you don't get by a fucking plane. You know, I mean truck, whatever, plane, my fault.
Oh, car.
Car, you know, plane, you know what I mean, or mad vehicles. But yeah, I feel like a lot of parents are taking advantage of the social media thing and also the school thing, and they're becoming lazy.
Oh, bike. Them niggas is wildin'.
I'm on my bike right now. You feel me? Like they getting lazy, man. And you can't be lazy with your kids or anything. You get out what you put in. So if you're gonna be lazy with your kids, it's gonna show.
That is 100%.
That is gonna show.
Listen, to your parents at home, teach your kids to cross the street.
So they don't get hit by a plane
or train. You know what I'm saying? An occasional car here or there.
Maybe a bike.
Maybe.
Scooters.
Maybe
Y'all remember
not.
the Razor scooters? Oh, that was a
Yeah.
time, son.
Nah, the Razor scooters got replaced with the Rev.
When
The
we was
Rev.
kids.
The Rev now.
Oh, Rev. Yeah, Rev's is fire.
That's like, no,
Yeah.
that's the
That's a
scooters
new-
now for them.
that's
That's
new-
the
yeah.
Razor scooters.
Right?
That's
Yo,
the
nigga.
2.0 version.
I remember
Real
when
quick.
the Razors dropped
Do you
them on
remember-
fire with the
Yo.
red wheels?
Son, do y'all remember
Yeah,
back?
the
Do you remember
flavors.
back when we was
Yellow.
a little bit younger and we used to go to Miami and we used to have to fucking hustle to rent out a scooter?
Man.
Now motherfuckers is in
Now
Bentleys
niggas
and
in there
shit.
with Lambos and
Niggas and
Ferraris.
shit.
But I don't
Yo,
know
I was
nothing
just
about that
in
because
Miami.
I was
Yo,
never that fortunate
listen,
to
y'all
even
see
get that.
Miami Raid? That shit is ugly.
I was just
now.
there.
When I was a
I'm
kid,
not going to
when
Miami for nothing.
I went
I
to
was there last
Miami
week.
I went to Miami when I was like 19, bro. No disrespect. Niggas just out there trying to get some pussy.
That's it.
That was it. And party and get drunk and have a good time. Like niggas is fighting and doing all types of reckless shit and chill. Man, yo, what the fuck? I'm not going back
Listen,
to Miami.
Let me tell you something. I was
Like
out there.
Brownsville on the
Yo,
beach.
I was out there. I seen like 10 Lambos back to back on the block. I'm looking like, yo, what the fuck?
Yo, wow.
I'm looking like, yo, damn. I'm taking Ubers.
I'm fucking
I think it's
yeah,
got
listen,
legs.
It don't even matter, man.
Times
But
have
listen,
changed, man.
yo, Loon, man, shout out to y'all freaking Frack for pulling up on
Yo,
us,
I
having a great
appreciate that, man.
episode.
Sure.
Parents at home, listen. At the end of the day, like we've been constantly preaching over this whole season that we're having. Everything starts at home. The kids' morals, their moral compasses, their affirmations, all that stuff starts at home. Because if for some reason something else happened next year, all of a sudden now, well, they got the cicada bugs outside and shit. Who the fuck knows what boss we're gonna fight next year? You're gonna be at home with your kids, right? Teach your kids at home first, because if you're having that conversation with them at home and talking to them and instilling those right values, when they go outside or when they're on their phone, they're making the social media, more times than not, they're gonna make the better choice.
Facts.
But if you just leave in social media to raise them and to leave it as is,
And teachers in schools.
it's you know,
Got fly niggas like him that's gonna have their head all fucked up. Had
you
their
and
head all fucked up.
he in school yelling at y'all kids.
Imagine your teacher
Talking
come to
Steve.
school with 3 chains on. Get the fuck out of here. Why my
On a
teacher
teacher's
fly to
salary.
me
He took him in.
with his
Yeah,
foreign Crocs on? You what? Fuck
But
you
hey,
gonna
listen,
teach me?
this is what your kids got to do. Listen, aspire to be like Steve when y'all grow up. Maybe.
But I tell them all the time, don't be me. Be better than me. I tell them all the
yeah,
Oh,
time.
wear 4
yeah,
chains.
yeah.
Wear 4 chains.
Nah, yeah, I was gonna say for a fact, don't do live porn. That's
Oh
crazy.
my god, yo, you in this
That's
live porn?
Yo, listen, man. Listen, like I said, from the bottom of our hearts here, Dad and this shit, we appreciate everybody for showing out to the live show. We put a lot of work into that. You guys show a lot of love. We had a great, fantastic time. We're already, in the lab working on putting out a lot more of that. Summertime, it's open.
Brunch, barbecues.
Brunch, barbecues.
Father's
Listen,
Day's
yo,
coming.
Shinju, holla at us, man.
Oh,
We
it's
tryna-
about to be Father's Day. What y'all got planned?
I got a little barbecue.
I'm
You know
be
what?
working.
Listen, ladies, for all my mothers out there, fathers, they not doing shit for Father's Day. Y'all gotta plan this shit. These niggas should not have to plan nothing. Get in your fucking group chats, go through the search histories, see what these niggas. They not. I don't got no kids. They not saying nothing. Y'all gotta get in y'all fucking bags and do what the fuck y'all gotta do. Y'all planning Father's Day this year. I said what I said.
And he stamped that. He said
Stamping
what he
that
said.
shit.
He said
Niggas
what he
not doing
said.
shit.
We
He
out
said what
here.
he said. Holla at us. Father's
Thanks for
Day,
tuning
June
in.
20th. Don't forget the date. I want something nice. Talking to you at home.
I need a Rolex.
Oh, see, you would want some fly shit.
I need a Rolex.
They said, what you want for Father? Oh, no, a Bentley.
Dada. Dada. Dada.